Hello, hello. This is Fabienne from Boldheart.com, and I'm so happy that you're here with me and Nathalie Doremieux. Nathalie, introduce yourself.
Hi, Fabienne. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. So my name is Nathalie Doremieux, and I am French, and I am an entrepreneur, though I was not born one. So this is something that I've been really working on. And I joined Boldheart about 2 years ago now, and it's completely transformed my business, which I know we will be talking about. And what we do in a nutshell is we help entrepreneurs leverage their expertise by helping them create online programs that their members won't want to leave.
Yeah, I love that. High five. Nathalie, 2 years ago, what was your situation like before you joined us in the program? What was good, but what was also frustrating about your business?
So what was good is we knew we had a good program. We had clients. What was not so good is I didn't feel that I was in control of the business. Remember at the very beginning, I said, I have this business by accident because somehow people are coming to me. And even though it was good, I just didn't know how to get to the next step. And every time that I tried before, being in business for 16 years now, I experienced a big dip, not only money-wise, but in my self-worth. And in, do I even want to do this? And every time having to go and bring it back up to the same place. And then you start doing the same things and it falls again. So I was looking for another way. And I was actually starting to be curious about what is else out there that I don't know yet, because I felt like I had been around pretty much everything that was in my network, and that wasn't working for me.
And so what was it? Was it an issue with team, with systems, with your time, with your business model, with your marketing? What wasn't working?
So that's the thing, is that when it's not working, you don't know. Because if you knew, you could hire for that. So I ended up finding out the first thing that you told me is like, oh, wait a minute, you need to stabilize. I'm like, what? No, I've been stabilizing for like 15 years. I don't want to stabilize. I want to grow. And you said, no. We need to make sure that you have the right thing in place. So you have to be patient.
Yeah.
So it was systems. Yep. I had some. A lot of people in Boldheart told me, wow, what you're doing is great. That was not enough. I needed to watch my numbers. When you said, I know how much I'm making, I have no idea how much I'm spending. You said, that's a big problem. That was the first activator. And you have to hire people. But every time I tried to hire, it felt like I might as well do it myself because they don't do it right. And I have to go after them. And it's too time consuming. And like, this is not working.
Classic. You know what? I'm just going to do it myself.
Exactly. It's like, come on. It only take a minute.
But a minute and a minute and a minute, and you can't focus on exponential growth activities then. So you decided to join the program. And what happened?
When I joined the program? So when I joined the program, well, first I realized that I didn't join like just a program. I joined a community of women that were in the same situation. Now, remember, I live in France, but my business is not working with the French market for reasons that we're not going to discuss here, right? But knowing, having that women that actually think like me, like you made that possible. You made that, and that's one of the things we say about you all the time is you have this gift of attracting these women and the synergy. I mean, they're like sisters to me now. I have several on a daily
and they're message. In the US and they're in the UK. They're all over the world. Your sisters
Exactly. And so, and I've been to other programs where there is a community, but it's just not the same. It is not the same. So that's the first thing I experienced. The second one is those activators. We all say, when you're not there, we all say that those activators are golden because they are so actionable. Even when we have our own meetings, we have our project plan. The very thing that you gave us in the activators, we use when we work together, when we mastermind. Why? Because it works. And we've all implemented things that are very tangible. I have my systems. I have a team that I've grown. We're up to 9 people now, not full time. Because I have the courage to add one more person because we've built that culture, right? And making sure that we understand the personality and I've also, so another things that I've learned from you that you said that I love because, I am an introvert. I am shy. I'm like, get me started on memberships. I can go on stage and stuff, but anything else? And that's the first thing you said, and I remember I shared this with you before, I love how you're going to answer the same question differently. Yeah. Why? Because you know how we're wired. So first thing is means that you care because you actually took the time. And I know very often you have your notes and you can tell, I know Nathalie is, like this and, So you answer based on how we're wired. Nobody else does that. Everybody else is cookie cutter. It's like, just follow the step. Well, if I don't follow the step, I need somebody to tell me and to help me figure out why I don't follow the step. I remember, I don't know if I told you, but the previous group I was with, she said very bluntly, Nathalie, I hope you'll make it because I'm definitely not charging enough because you guys are not listening and you're not doing. And I was like, well, yes, isn't your job? I'm a hard worker. Isn't your job to help me figure out why? Is there a reason I'm not doing? Like there is maybe a block somewhere. Can you help me instead of making me feel awful for spending money on things I don't do? And that's where you completely shift things around. I mean, you teach the business, you tell us the business and the strategy, but above all, you share with us that self-worth. That without that,
I think that there's
it's
a certain
only going
level
to get you
of
so far.
Heart that you can, when you are doing business from your heart chakra, when you actually really care about your members and your clients, and you can, whether this sounds cheesy to somebody who's listening who doesn't actually know me, but when you can say, I love my clients and really, really, really mean it, it really does make a difference how people feel.
Exactly. And I think that people get that. I think I've realized one thing as well is you told me, well, you don't have to do all the other things that people are doing. You know what works for you. Go back to these relationships that you're building. It got you to those multiple 6-figure. I mean, since working with you, we've doubled our monthly income, which I
and
didn't
you were already
think
at
that we
6
could
figures.
even. Because to me, it was a plateau.
Yeah.
I was already at 6 figure. I was at 6 figure for 4 years. I was just stuck at six figure. And then now we get those 47K months. I mean, you would have told me that before. I would say, no way. No, like, I can't. First, I can't if I don't have like Facebook ad running like crazy and a huge list. It's not about that. And you know what? It's not about raising your prices too crazy either. The only thing I did is I switched from dollars to euros because I'm in France and it's easier for me for my taxes.
I want you to hear everybody who's listening. Nathalie just said that she's now generating from probably around 100,000 or something like that to now $500,000 a year. $500,000.
Yeah, what's exactly?
Yeah. That's the track you're on.
If I keep going like this. Yes,
so
that's the
you've
track
doubled. What else has happened that's positive in your business since being in the program?
We strengthen our offers. You know, like very often when you want to get to the next level, you're like, okay, let's maybe add a new program or let's add a new thing. And you were like, no, 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 you have to keep remembering what works. Do more of what works, right? And that's when I realized, I looked at the number, I said, well, we did 7-figure with this one package. So this one is not going away. And if I want to stop doing it myself, I can hire people, right? So, and it's really been, the major difference is I would say now is the team that we have, where actually don't even want to do some of the things. You know, before it was like, I know I can do it faster. I can probably do it better. I still think I can do it faster and better from the team I have right now. That's a reality, but it doesn't have to be. Sometimes great is enough, right? For my clients. And I'm still delivering and over delivering, and what it allowed me to do is to have a better process for getting testimonials and things like that, because now the team does it, you know, after we've delivered, they go back and they take screenshots, and a month later they send the feedback survey, and then I think Friday I got 2 feedback that are amazing, and then I look in Canva, boom, she created the images with the screenshot and the quote with the person. Like, I feel like everything is like falling into place, and it's finally scalable, while still having this bit that is me still now, but that's okay. But it's like, it's not like
Nathalie,
a all or nothing.
I'm
it doesn't
so
have to
happy
happen,
for you. And the best is yet to come.
Overnight.
We're still on the journey, right? There's new levels of you creating even more fulfillment and satisfaction. Was there initial, sometimes there's initial resistance to joining the program, just because people don't love change. They're sometimes a little skeptical, like, this seems too good to be true. You've been with me for 2 years now. And what was the resistance, if any, to coming into the program? Was it money? Was it spouse? Was it?
Well, I knew I was leaving the other program. Like, well, it's the timing. I mean, you know the story. I found you by accident because I checked you out, and I came because I was in Paris. I was not, I came for you and my sister, but like, those are all things that made sense to me. I followed my intuition, and I'm not an intuitive person. But for some reason, I was curious, and I told my husband is my business partner. So that was probably my only, you said like, you can join right now, we can have a glass of wine. I had one of the worst headache on that day. And I think because it was like working so much, and I was talking with the ladies, and you probably don't remember in the room, but I actually answered quite a few of your questions, which I never do. I'm the one that's like, if you start coming to me, I'm not going to make eye contact, and my heart is going to pound like it's going to come out of my chest. But for some reason, I was like, I'm going to raise my hand, and I was, honest to God, I was thinking, I can be the next success story of this person because I can relate. And I also like your French side, of course, but that's a different story. Like, I had a feeling you could understand me. I mean, you can tell when people care and when people care less, right? So, the only reason I didn't sign up right away is, honestly, I had this big headache, and my sister was waiting for me, and I said, I'm just gonna ask Olivier. And I messaged him, I couldn't get him. I went home to my sister, I got him on the phone, and he said, well, why did you sign up? Like, even if you don't like it, it's just like, it was like a tiny deposit just to say I'm committing. He said, just do it. And immediately I emailed your team, and I said, can I still come?
Absolutely.
And she said, of course. Absolutely. So I was in, I just
sometimes it's just like, you know what, I know, and we're seeing that more and more. Once now that people are reading the book, they're just saying like, okay, there's credibility here. There's so many success stories of me taking them through this process to the $1 million mark, or $500,000 mark. But the whole point here is every one of them has gotten to $1 million, and it's like we're getting less people with less and less resistance. Like, just take me there. The proof is in the pudding. I have seen it. I've seen you online. Go for it. Nathalie, if you were to give advice, somebody is watching this right now and maybe she's been curious, I'm thinking I want to work with her. I'm thinking I want to be in this program, but what if I make a mistake? What would you say to her now that you've been in the program and you've seen the results firsthand and you've met the community and you've met the coaches and you've been in the activators and you've been in the accountability sessions and you've experienced what it's like to be in, what would you say to that woman or that lovely man? What advice would you give them about joining?
Well, I would say that you have to follow your intuition. Like there is a reason you got, in front of this program, and there is nothing that's going to feel like easy. We don't pretend like to make it easy, but you have to realize you cannot do this alone. So you might as well surround yourself with the people that can help you in all areas. I mean, not just the tech, not just the marketing, but the mindset, the personal thing as well, which often we try to ignore, right? The big elephant in the room, we try to ignore that. So I would say this is the only program you need. I literally left everything else because everything is there, right? And it's just focusing. It gives you the focus. You have goals, and then there is no more shiny object syndromes, because if you're clear on where you're trying to go and this is the next step, every time you do something, it's like, is it helping to get to my next step? Yes, let's do it. It's not, then it's shiny object. It's not an opportunity, right? So it's like, it's never going to be, well, yeah, great, let's do it. It's normal if it feels hecky, but
change
if you have to change
by
if you
chance.
want things to change.
Change happens
and
by
nobody
being
likes
willing
change,
to
but change is necessary.
And you're absolutely right. Sometimes
might
we have
as
to
well.
dig deep and say, oh my God, this feels like it's something big. But sometimes there's only one way to find out, and that's just to dive in and take the leap of faith. Trusting. Thank you, Nathalie, for sharing your inspirational story with those who have been on the fence and who really want to get to the next level. They're really stuck, overwhelmed, maybe deeply frustrated, and you were just an absolute inspiration for so many people today. And I thank you so much for that.